One of the things we started on our first week was a 5-minute foot routine, or I should say a 5-minute foot to core. Really great to do before your runs. The whole purpose of it is to really work on those intrinsic muscles, the smaller muscles of the foot. And you've just seen Mazi run by, trying to get into the other room right now. So I guess he's going to be joining us today on this little journey. But what I wanted to do is break that down a little bit for you. And the first exercise, or what we do in anticipation of the exercises of the 5-minute foot, is we start out with what is called the short foot. And the reason why it's called the short foot is because what we're doing is we are planting the heel into the ground, planting the toes into the ground, and lifting the arch, which shortens the foot up, activating all of those muscles. And as we engage all of those muscles of the foot, it's kind of bringing the foot together in a little bit more of a powerful way. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to back up a little bit so that you can fully see me. And from the front, what you would be doing is first, we're just going to go one foot in front of another, little bit of bend to the knee. So I'm going to do that from the side as well. So if you're on the side here, just the foot that we're going to be working on, little bit of bend, both feet facing forward. If you're off a little bit to the left or right, no problem. Then what we're going to do is we're going to plant that heel into the ground with intention. Feel the textures underneath the heel of your foot and feel the temperature of the surface that you're on. Then we're going to go ahead and have the balls of our foot from the ball of our foot right underneath the big toe, and then slowly working our way down to the ball of the foot right underneath the pinky. Those are our metatarsals that we're kind of digging in with right now. Again, being really present and aware of what everything feels like underneath our foot. Now, lift the toes up, splay the toes as far as you can, and one by one, from left to right or right to left, plant those into the ground. Once you have those planted, then what you're going to do is I want you to really dig in. So really from the big toe on, push down into the ground, and now a slight lifting, if you can imagine lifting the arch. So as you push down with the heel and as you push down with the big toe primarily, you're going to lift that arch up. And then we're going to take it the rest of the way. So we want to kind of feel our calves activated. You may feel this in the upper portion of your leg as well. We're going to do a slight pelvic lift. So normally you'll hear people a lot of times talk about belly buttons to the spine, but what we want to do here is a pelvic lift to engage the core. So yes, it's a slight tilt and we're working against gravity, bringing everything up. As we do that, chest opens up, and then push the hips back, keeping that tilt, which is a little bit difficult. As we keep that tilt and push back, you'll find we automatically are going into kind of that runner's lunge, or that right when we're getting started off for a sprint. And take a moment here, feel the ground underneath you, and you can just slight bend of the hip, slight bend at the knee joint to really activate that. Great. We'll do it from the other side. The other side I'm going to do straightforward for you. So we'll move a little bit faster this time. Coming into a small lunge stance, slight bend to the knee, not deep at all. Digging the heel into the ground, feeling what that feels like. Dropping the ball of the foot and all across the foot, all those metatarsals right underneath the toes. Lift the toes up, splay the toes, bring them down one by one, grounding them, rooting them into the ground, feeling what that feels like. That big toe especially, grounding that down. We're only we're not using 100% of our force, 25% of our force to do that. And imagine yourself lifting up that arch, right? So right on the inside, lifting that up, but not turning, just kind of straight up. Great. Once we've got that, keep that bend in the knee, pelvic lift against gravity. chest out, shoulders back, go into that runner's lunge or that sprint that you're just about to take. Take a couple of steps there, and then take a few moments to feel what that feels like underneath. So this is a great way to activate all of those small muscles. Again, 25% of your power, ooh, I lost my balance there a little bit. 25% of the power is what we're gonna go for. You can roll out your feet afterwards. If you do this and you end up getting a little cramping, that means just back off on the power that you're kind of grounding in with. You can always build that up over time. All right, in the next videos, we'll work on each of those exercises that builds us up to the full 5 minutes, which includes a lot of lunges, a lot of deadlifts, and a lot of side-by-side and rotational lunges as well. All right, I hope you all enjoy it. Thanks.